Imagine standing in front of a mirror and trying to see your own eyes while they are closed. It is impossible. This is exactly what it feels like when you try to force yourself to be confident in a language you have only studied on paper. You are trying to see a version of yourself that does not exist yet. Most people approach English like a math problem to be solved. They gather variables and they memorize formulas and they wait for the day when the equation finally makes sense. But the paradox of fluency is that the more you try to be perfect, the less you are actually able to speak. You become a prisoner of your own knowledge. This one thing changed everything for me. I realized that I was not failing because I did not know enough. I was failing because I knew too much of the wrong stuff. I was trying to drive a car by reading the manual while I was behind the wheel. Just does not work that way. Welcome to True Grit English Stories. I am so happy you decided to join me in this quiet and reflective space today. Pull up a chair and let the noise of the world fade away for a moment. We are starting a 30-day journey together, and I promise you that by the end of it, English will feel less like a subject and more like a part of your soul. This is my exact plan. It is the path I took to find my own voice, and it is the path we will walk together. We are going to break this down into 5 phases over the next month. Each phase is a step closer to the version of you that speaks without fear. But today we start at the very beginning. We start with the mystery of sound. Think about the last time you heard a song in a language you did not speak. You could still feel the emotion. You could still tap your foot to the beat. You could even hum along without knowing what the lyrics meant. This is how we are going to approach English for this first part of our plan. We are going to spend the next 6 days focusing on the music of the language. We are going to use something called the shadow technique, but we are going to do it differently than the way you might have heard before. We are not going to worry about the meaning of the words yet. We are going to focus on the rhythm and the breath. Most learners treat English like a series of heavy blocks piled on top of each other. They think if they just get enough blocks, they will eventually have a tower. But a tower without a foundation will fall in the first wind of a real conversation. The music of the language is your foundation. It is the vibration in your chest and the way your breath catches between sentences. For 6 minutes every day, I want you to find a recording of a native speaker. Could be a podcast or a movie or a story like the ones we share here. Do not pick something difficult. Pick something that sounds beautiful to you. Put on your headphones and close your eyes. I want you to listen to the way the words melt into each other. English is a language of connections. We do not say every word clearly and separately like a computer. We flow. We stretch some sounds and we hide others. This first phase is about training your ears to hear that flow. When you feel ready, I want you to start making the sounds along with the speaker. You do not need to say the words perfectly. You just need to match the speed and the melody. It is like being a shadow that follows someone through a forest. You do not have to lead the way. You just have to stay close. This process does something truly life-changing for your brain. It bypasses the part of your mind that is always judging you and always correcting your grammar. It speaks directly to your subconscious. You are telling your brain that this language is safe. You are telling your body that these sounds belong to you. I remember a time when I sat in a small cafe in a foreign city. I was so terrified of making a mistake that I spent 10 minutes rehearsing how to ask for a simple cup of water. My heart was racing and my palms were sweaty. When I finally spoke, the words came out stiff and awkward. The waiter looked at me with confusion. It was because I was trying to speak from my head and not from my heart. I was trying to follow the rules instead of the rhythm. That night I went home and I stopped studying the books. I just listened. I listened to the way people laughed and the way they sighed. I realized that communication is 90% feeling and only 10% vocabulary. That realization was my turning point. It was the moment I stopped being a student and started being a communicator. This 30-day plan is designed to give you that same turning point. We are going to spend these first 6 minutes a day just being present with the sound. It might feel strange at first. You might feel like you are not doing enough. But trust me when I say that you are doing the most important work of all. You are clearing the path. You are removing the obstacles that your own ego has placed in your way. When you stop trying to be right, you finally start being real. This is the secret to the confidence you have been looking for. It is not something you go out and find in a dictionary. It is something that grows from within when you finally give yourself permission to be imperfect. So for today and for the next few days, I want you to focus only on this. Find your 6 minutes. Find your quiet space. Listen to the music of the English language. Let the sounds become familiar friends. Feel the way the air moves through your mouth. True Grit English Stories is about finding the strength to keep going even when it feels difficult. It is about the quiet persistence that leads to greatness. I am right here with you every step of the way. We are not just learning a language. We are rediscovering who you are in a whole new world of expression. We are breaking the old habits of fear and building new habits of flow. Tomorrow we will talk about the foundation and how to build the frame of your house. But for now, just breathe and listen. The music is already there inside the words. You just have to let yourself hear it. You are doing a great job just by being here. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. We are beginning a beautiful journey together. Now that we have listened to the music of the language, we are ready to move deeper into the forest. Take a deep breath with me. Do you feel that quiet space in your mind? This is where the real work happens. Most people think that to speak English confidently, they need to know every word in the dictionary. They think they need to understand complex grammar rules that even native speakers do not remember. But I want to let you in on a little secret that changed my life. It is the secret of the foundation. Imagine you are building a house. If you spend all your time choosing the color of the curtains or the style of the lamps but you forget to pour the concrete for the floor, what happens? The house falls down. English is exactly the same way. We often spend our energy on the fancy decorations. We try to learn big words to sound smart. We try to use perfect tenses that we barely understand. But the foundation of English is actually very small and very simple. This is what I call the 80-20 rule for fluency. Did you know that in daily conversation we use only a small fraction of the English language? About 80% of what we say comes from only 20% of the words we know. In fact, it is even more focused than that. If you master the most common 100 words, you can understand and participate in almost half of all casual conversations. This realization should feel like a heavy weight lifting off your shoulders. You do not need to be a walking dictionary. You just need to be a master of the core. When I was first learning, I felt so much pressure to be impressive. I wanted to use words like nevertheless or furthermore. I thought those words would make me sound like a confident speaker. But the opposite happened. Because I was so focused on those big words, I would forget how to say the simple things. I would freeze when I had to ask where the bathroom was or how much a coffee cost. I was trying to build the roof before I had the walls. For the next 6 days of our 30-day plan, we are going to focus on this core foundation. We are going to master the simple structures that hold everything else up. Think about the word is. Think about the word have. Think about the word do. These words are like the nails and the wood of your house. They are not fancy, but without them nothing stays together. I want you to spend your time this week becoming very comfortable with the present and the past. Do not worry about the future yet. Do not worry about the perfect tenses. Just focus on being able to say what is happening right now and what happened yesterday. There is a strange kind of magic in being simple. When you use simple words, you have more space in your brain to think about your delivery. You can focus on your tone and your eye contact. You can focus on the person you are talking to instead of staring at the ceiling trying to find a difficult verb. True confidence does not come from knowing the hardest words. It comes from knowing that you can handle the most common situations with ease. I remember sitting on a park bench watching two people talk. One of them was a native speaker and the other was a learner. The learner was trying so hard to be perfect. Every time they spoke, they paused for a long time to find the right grammar. The native speaker started to look bored. Then the learner made a mistake and laughed. They said, "I am sorry, my English is like a broken bicycle today." That simple sentence changed everything. It was simple. It was honest. And it was clear. The tension disappeared. They started to really communicate. That is what I want for you. I want you to have the grit to be simple. Takes a lot of courage to not use big words. It takes courage to say I have a cat instead of I am currently the owner of a feline companion. This phase of our plan is about stripping away the ego. We are going to look at the 100 most common words and we are going to make them our best friends. We are going to practice saying them until they feel as natural as breathing. Every day for the next 6 minutes after you finish your shadow listening, I want you to pick 5 of these core words. I want you to use them in 5 different sentences about your life. If the word is go, do not just say I go to the store. Say I go to the park when I am sad. Say I go to the kitchen when I am hungry. Connect these simple words to your real emotions and your real life. This is how you build a bridge between the book and your heart. We are building a solid frame for your house. We are making sure that when you speak, your words have a place to sit. You are not just throwing sounds into the air. You are placing them with purpose. I want you to feel the strength in your foundation. You are doing something that most learners never do. You are slowing down so that later you can go fast. In the quiet of your room today, I want you to think about why you want to speak this language. Is it to get a better job? Is it to make new friends? Is it to travel the world? Whatever your reason is, remember that those goals are built on this foundation. You do not need to be perfect to be successful. You just need to be clear. You just need to be you. This path we are on is a journey of 30 days. We are already moving forward. We have the music of the language in our ears from the first phase. Now we are putting the first stones of the foundation in place. Do you feel the progress? It is quiet and it is slow, but it is real. You are not the same person you were when we started this video. You are someone with a plan. You are someone with true grit. I want you to stay with me in this feeling of calm. The world outside might be loud and fast, but in here we have all the time we need. We are building something that will last a lifetime. We are building a version of you that can stand tall and speak their truth in a new language. That is a beautiful thing. It is a gift you are giving to yourself. So for today, keep it simple. Focus on the core. Master the basic words that connect us all as human beings. The fancy decorations will come later. For now, we are just building the walls. We are making sure the floor is level. We are preparing for the next step where we start to live inside the house we have built. Take one more deep breath. Let it go. You are doing exactly what you need to do. I am proud of you for showing up today. I am proud of you for being willing to start small. Tomorrow we will move into the third phase of our plan. We will talk about the ritual that turns these words into physical muscle memory. But for now, just enjoy the simplicity. Enjoy the quiet strength of your foundation. You are becoming a confident speaker one simple word at a time. I will see you in the next part. Stay warm, stay focused, and keep that fire in your heart. This is our journey and we are doing it together. We have reached the middle of our journey together. Take a moment to feel the air in the room. Notice the weight of your body in your chair. You have already done so much. You have listened to the music of English and you have built a strong foundation with the most important words. Now we are ready for something a bit more intimate. We are ready to move from the head to the body. This is phase 3 of our 30-day plan. It is what I call the 15-minute ritual. This is where the quiet work becomes a physical reality. This is where we stop being a student and we start being a performer of our own life. I want you to imagine a secret place. For most of us, this place is the bathroom mirror or a small corner of our bedroom. It is a place where no one else can hear you. In this phase, we are going to spend 15 minutes every single day talking to ourselves. I know how that sounds. It sounds a little bit strange. It might even feel a bit silly at first. But I want to tell you why this is the most powerful tool in your entire kit. When you speak to another person, your brain is under a lot of pressure. You are trying to listen and understand and plan your answer all at the same time. It is like trying to juggle 5 balls while running a race. But when you are alone, the pressure disappears. The balls stay in the air. For the first 5 minutes of your ritual, I want you to stand in front of that mirror. Look yourself in the eyes. I want you to say the things you are proud of today, even if it is just a small thing like waking up on time or making a good cup of tea. Say it out loud in English. Use those core words we talked about in the last phase. I am happy today. I am learning English. I am becoming better. As you say these things, watch your mouth. Watch the way your lips move and the way your teeth touch your lip when you make an F sound. This is about more than just words. This is about getting to know the physical version of you that speaks English. You see, speaking a new language is like learning a new sport or a new dance. Your tongue and your jaw have spent years moving in a certain way for your native language. They have developed specific habits. English requires different movements. It requires different muscles. By watching yourself in the mirror, you are creating a map in your brain. You are connecting the sound you hear to the movement you see. This is how we build muscle memory. I remember when I first started doing this. I felt so awkward. I thought I looked funny when I tried to make certain sounds. But then I realized that the awkwardness was just the feeling of growth. It was the feeling of my body learning a new skill. After your 5 minutes in the mirror, we move to the next part of the ritual. This is the narration of your life. For the next 10 minutes, I want you to become the narrator of a movie. That movie is your day-to-day life. As you move around your house, I want you to speak your actions out loud. If you are in the kitchen, say, I am opening the fridge. I am looking for the milk. The milk is behind the eggs. If you are getting ready for work, say, I am putting on my shoes. My shoes are black. I like these shoes. This sounds simple, but it is doing something incredibly deep in your mind. It is breaking the habit of translation. Most learners have a little translator living in their heads. They hear a word in English, then they translate it to their native language. Then they think of an answer in their native language and translate it back to English. This process takes a lot of time and energy. It is why people freeze when they try to speak. They are waiting for the translator to finish the work. By narrating your simple actions, you are bypassing that translator. You are connecting the action directly to the English word. You are not thinking of the word for milk in your own language. You are just seeing the milk and saying the word milk. You are teaching your brain to think in English. This ritual is like a bridge. On one side of the bridge is the quiet study of books and listening. On the other side is the world of fast conversations and native speakers. The bridge is where you practice being yourself without the fear of judgment. In these 15 minutes, there is no one to tell you that you are wrong. There is no one to correct your grammar. There is only you and the sound of your own voice. I want you to fall in love with that sound. It is a unique sound. Your English voice will not sound exactly like a native speaker, and that is a good thing. It will sound like you. It will have your personality and your warmth. I once knew a woman who was very shy. She had studied English for 10 years, but she would never speak in class. She told me that she felt like a different person when she spoke English. She felt like she was wearing a mask that did not fit. I told her about the mirror ritual. She started doing it every morning while she brushed her hair. She started talking to her cat in English. She started narrating her breakfast. Slowly the mask started to fit. The English words stopped feeling like stones in her mouth and started feeling like water. 1 month later, she went to a cafe and ordered her coffee without any hesitation. She did not have to think about it because she had already said those words 100 times in her own kitchen. This is the power of the ritual. It turns the unknown into the familiar. It turns the scary into the routine. For the next 6 days of our plan, I want you to commit to these 15 minutes. Do not skip a single day. Even if you are tired, even if you feel like you have nothing to say, just stand there and describe the weather or the color of the walls. The content does not matter as much as the act of speaking. You are training your nervous system to stay calm while you make these sounds. You are showing your heart that it is safe to express itself in this new way. We are halfway through our 30-day journey. You are doing the heavy lifting now. You are turning the foundation into a home. You are giving the music a voice. I want you to feel proud of yourself. It takes true grit to stand in a room and talk to yourself for 15 minutes. It takes courage to look at your own mistakes and keep going. But I promise you that this is where the magic happens. This is where you stop being a student and you start being a speaker. As you go through your day to day, I want you to look for those little moments where you can narrate your life. Maybe it is when you are driving or when you are washing the dishes. Let the English words flow out of you like a gentle stream. Do not worry about being perfect. Just focus on the flow. Focus on the feeling of the words in your mouth. You are building the physical strength you need for the conversations that are coming. You are preparing for the moment when you will finally find your flow. In our next phase, we are going to deal with the mental blocks that keep us from using this voice in public. We are going to learn how to embrace the beautiful mess of making mistakes. But for now, stay in this quiet space. Stay with your ritual. Listen to the sound of your voice and know that it is getting stronger every day. You are not just learning a language. You are expanding your soul. I am right here with you. I am cheering for you in the silence. Take a deep breath. Feel the power of your own voice. You are doing a wonderful job. I will see you in the next part of our journey. Stay warm and keep speaking. We have moved from the music of the language to the solid foundation of the core words. We have even started the private ritual of talking to the mirror. Now we must face the biggest wall of all. It is the wall inside your own mind. This is phase 4 of our 30-day plan. This is where we deal with the mental blocks that keep you silent when you want to speak. I want you to take a deep breath with me. Let the air fill your lungs and then let it go. We are entering a space where we leave our pride at the door. Imagine you are a small child again. Do you remember when you learned to walk? You did not stand up and run a marathon on the first day. You fell down. You hit your knees. You probably cried a little bit. But you did not stay on the floor and decide that walking was not for you. You did not feel embarrassed because the other children saw you fall. You just got back up and tried again. This is the spirit we need for this phase of our journey. We need to find that childlike courage again. We need to stop being so afraid of looking foolish. Most people approach English like a test where they are afraid of getting a bad grade. They think that every mistake is a sign of failure. But I want to tell you something that might sound strange. Mistakes are not a sign that you are failing. Mistakes are a sign that you are growing. They are the evidence of your progress. If you are not making mistakes, it means you are staying inside your comfort zone. It means you are not learning anything new. The paradox of confidence is that you only find it when you are willing to lose it. You only become a master after you have been a fool 1,000 times. I have a very specific challenge for you for the next 6 days. I call it the 5-error goal. Usually we try to avoid errors. But for this week I want you to seek them out. Every time you open your mouth to speak, I want you to have a goal in your mind. I want you to aim for 5 mistakes. Tell yourself that you are not allowed to leave the conversation until you have made at least 5 grammatical errors or used the wrong word 5 times. This is the secret method that will change your life. When you make it your goal to fail, the fear disappears. You are no longer a victim of your own anxiety. You are a hunter looking for the edge of your knowledge. When you stumble over a word, I want you to smile. Say to yourself, there is one. That is mistake number 1. Only 4 more to go. Suddenly the tension in your shoulders will start to melt away. Your heart rate will slow down. You will start to use your hands when you talk, and your voice will become more natural. You are giving yourself permission to be a human being instead of a perfect machine. I remember a time when I was trying to learn a new language. I was sitting at a dinner table with a group of people I really wanted to impress. I spent the whole night being silent. I was rehearsing every sentence in my head before I said it. By the time I was ready to speak, the conversation had already moved on to something else. I felt lonely and I felt small. I realized that my desire to be perfect was actually keeping me from making friends. It was my ego that was the problem. My ego cared more about looking smart than about connecting with people. That night I made a promise to myself. I promised that I would rather be the person who speaks poorly and makes friends than the person who stays silent and stays alone. The next day I went to a local shop and I intentionally made mistakes. I used the wrong tense. I forgot the names of simple things. And do you know what happened? The person behind the counter did not laugh at me. They did not judge me. They actually leaned in and tried harder to help me. They saw my effort and they met me halfway. This is the beauty of human connection. People do not want you to be perfect. They just want you to be there. This 30-day plan is about more than just English. It is about your personal growth. It is about having the true grit to stand in your imperfection. When you stop fearing the mistake, you finally find the flow. Flow is that magical state where you stop thinking about the rules and you just start communicating. You are not worried about the past or the future. You are just present in the moment. This is where true confidence lives. It does not live in a grammar book. It lives in the space between two people who are trying to understand each other. For these 6 days, I want you to practice this 5-error goal in every situation you can. If you do not have anyone to talk to in person, do it online. Join a conversation group or record a voice message for a friend. If you are still alone, use your mirror ritual, but be even more messy. Try to say things that are too difficult for you. Push yourself until you get stuck. And when you get stuck, I want you to laugh. Laughing at yourself is the fastest way to break the power of fear. It shows your brain that you are safe. It shows your heart that you are okay. You are doing something very brave. Most people spend their whole lives hiding their weaknesses. They stay in the same place because they are afraid of what people might think. But you are different. You are here because you want to expand your world. You are here because you have the courage to be a beginner. This is the path to greatness. Every confident speaker you admire was once exactly where you are right now. They were once confused and frustrated. The only difference is that they did not stop. They made their 5 mistakes every day until the mistakes started to happen less and less. As we move through this phase, I want you to keep your lo-fi spirit. Keep things calm and reflective. Do not rush the process. If you feel a wave of anxiety, just acknowledge it. Say hello to your fear and then keep going. You are building a mental muscle that will serve you for the rest of your life. This is not just about English. This is about how you face any challenge. You face it with a smile and a willingness to be imperfect. In our final phase, we will talk about total mental immersion. We will talk about how to change the very language of your thoughts. But for now, I want you to focus on this one thing. Go out there and make your mistakes. Be loud and be messy and be real. Your errors are the stones that build the road to your success. I am so proud of the progress you are making. You are showing such incredible grit. Take a deep breath. Feel the freedom of being allowed to fail. You are becoming a confident speaker not because you are perfect but because you are brave. I will see you in the final part of our journey. Stay warm and stay messy. We are doing this together. We have arrived at the final threshold. We have walked through the music of the language and built a foundation with our core words. We have spoken to ourselves in the mirror, and we have learned to find joy in our mistakes. Now we are ready for the final piece of the puzzle. This is phase 5 of our 30-day journey. This is the moment where English stops being a tool you use and starts being a part of who you are. We are going to talk about total mental immersion. I want you to think about the voice inside your head. We all have one. It is that quiet narrator that follows us through the day. It tells us when we are hungry or when we are tired. It helps us plan our meetings and it remembers our favorite memories. Usually that voice speaks in your native language. It has been doing that since you were a very small child. It is comfortable and it is fast. But to reach true fluency, we must invite English into that private inner space. We are going to change the language of your soul. This final part of my exact plan is about shifting your inner monologue. For the next 6 days, I want you to make a conscious effort to think in English. This sounds like a huge task, but we are going to start very small. We are going to start by simply naming the world around us. As you sit in your room right now, look at the objects near you. Do not say the names out loud. Just say them in your mind. Desk, lamp, window, book. Do this for a few minutes every hour. You are creating a mental map where the English word is the first thing that comes to your mind. Once you feel comfortable naming objects, I want you to move to the next level. I want you to start narrating your thoughts in the first person. When you are deciding what to eat for lunch, do not think about it in your native language. Think, I am hungry. I want to eat an apple. I will make a sandwich. Keep the sentences simple, just like we did in the foundation phase. The goal here is not complexity. The goal is speed and direct connection. You are training your brain to stop the habit of translation. You are showing your mind that English is not a guest in your house. English lives here now. I remember the day this finally clicked for me. I was walking down a busy street and I saw a beautiful sunset between the tall buildings. Without even thinking, my brain said, "Wow, that is beautiful." It was a simple thought, but it was in my target language. I did not have to translate it from my native tongue. Just happened. In that moment, I realized that the wall between my two worlds had finally come down. I was no longer a person who studied a language. I was a person who lived a language. This is the transformation that awaits you in these final days of the month. By the time you reach day 25 of this plan, you should start planning your future in English. When you think about what you want to do next weekend or where you want to go on vacation, do it in English. Use the structures we have practiced. Describe your dreams. Describe your goals. If you find yourself stuck on a word, do not get frustrated. Just describe the word using other words. If you forget the word for suitcase, think of it as the big box for my clothes. This is how you develop mental flexibility. This is how you become truly independent. This 30-day journey has been about more than just vocabulary and grammar. It has been about building true grit. It has been about showing up for yourself every single day, even when you felt tired or discouraged. You have taken a path that most people are afraid to walk. You have looked at your fear, and you have chosen to speak anyway. I want you to take a moment to look back at the person you were on day one. Remember how English felt like a cold and distant thing. Remember how heavy the words felt in your mouth. Now feel the difference. Feel the warmth and the familiarity that has grown in your heart. Total mental immersion is the final secret, because it is the only way to reach a state of flow. When you are in a real conversation, there is no time to think about rules. You have to trust the work you have done. You have to trust the music and the foundation and the ritual. By changing your inner monologue, you are giving yourself a gift of confidence that no book can ever provide. You are creating an environment where English can breathe and grow. You are no longer fighting the language. You are dancing with it. As we reach the end of our 30 days together, I want you to know how proud I am of you. This is a journey that never truly ends, but you have now built the engine that will carry you the rest of the way. You have the exact plan that I used to find my own voice. You have the tools and you have the spirit. True Grit English Stories is a community of people who believe in the power of slow and steady growth. We believe that a quiet heart and a determined mind can achieve anything. You are a part of this community now. Your voice matters and your story is important. I want you to take one more deep breath with me. Let the calm of this moment settle into your bones. You have done the work. You have stayed the course. English is no longer a subject you are studying in a book. It is a natural part of who you are. It is the way you express your thoughts and your feelings. It is the way you connect with the world. You are a confident English speaker. Believe those words because they are true. So as we close this final chapter of our 30-day plan, I have one small suggestion for you. Why don't you try to spend the next 10 minutes just sitting in silence and thinking about your favorite memory in English? Do not worry about the grammar. Just try to see the pictures and hear the sounds using your new inner voice. How about giving that a try right now? It is a beautiful way to welcome this new version of yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Stay warm, stay brave, and always remember that you have the grit to succeed. I will be here waiting for you in our next story.